Thanks for tuning in to another edition of Michael London Radio. And guys, you already know my line. We're more than just talk. Okay. I bring you guys information, communication. I bring you guys everything that I just love to do. I love to talk. I love to talk about current events and information, and we're going to be talking about relationships on this go-round. And one of my heavy-hitting topics for today is the F word in relationships. Yeah, the F word in relationships. And I do have a guest in the studio with me, Daniel B. Can you greet our guest and say hello?
What's up, guys? Daniel B here.
Alright, we're going to be talking about relationships, the F word in relationships, and let me just give you a little pointer on what I'm talking about and referring to. The F word in relationships is a center point as of attraction or activity. The F word in relationships is the focal point, a point upon which attention, activity, etc. is directed or concentrated. The F word in relationships is the point of origin. The F word in relationships is also the center, the heart, the core, and the nucleus of the relationship. So what is this big F word that we're talking about? And obviously I'm not talking about effing. So the F word in relationships is focus. Focus. What is the focus? The origin, the nucleus, the core, the heart, the center of your relationship. So Daniel, can you tell us give me one tip. Let's start with one tip. What's one tip for keeping a focused relationship?
Paying attention to the next other person.
Paying attention. Paying attention. Love it. Pay. Do you hear that? Pay. P-A-Y. That means it's going to cost you something to pay attention in a relationship. That means I'm engaging with what your needs are. I'm paying attention to what makes you happy, what makes you sad, what changes your mood and different things like that. And what's your likes and your dislikes. You know, some people, we just with people sometimes and not paying attention to the things that matter or to the things that we think don't matter. So, and I want you to interject a little bit more on that paying attention. Why is paying attention so important?
You gotta know what the person is about. Like, you gotta know what they like and what they're interested in.
Okay. Give us tip number 2 for focus.
Knowing what you want.
You gotta know what you want. You gotta know what you want. What do you want? Really, like, in a relationship, what is it that you want? Do you have goals in your relationship? So would you say knowing what you want includes your goals?
Yes.
Knowing what you want,
Out of the relationship. I mean, like, why y'all want to be together, and where you're going with the relationship, and basically
why are you with the person? Because that's we're gonna get to that. But that's part. We have to, sometimes we get in relationships and the humdrum routine of life and everything that involves a relationship will put you off course sometimes. Where, okay, you got kids, some of us have kids, some of us are in school, college, whatever, some of us have a career, a heavy workload and different things like that, and we bring those stresses into our relationship. And this is why focus is so important, because sometimes we major in minor and minor in major. Sometimes we pay attention to the little things. We let little things stress us out in relationships that becomes unhealthy. Can you give us an example of little things that we blow up and make a big deal about in relationship? Give us an example of little things that we do that throw the relationship off.
Like arguing about why there's no cooked food when you get in the house.
Right. So you could be the best person in the relationship, but you want to argue with me that there's no cooked food. And for some people that is a big thing, but it's not the end all or means all or the end of the world that you don't have a cooked meal right now or today, or have we ever gave thought that there's so much more that needs to balance out the relationship? Maybe you need to cook some days and work out a schedule how y'all do things or whatever. My point is this, that sometimes we let those little things throw off the focus, the whole focus of the relationship, because you'll start acting in a spirit and in a way because she didn't cook my food or he didn't cook my food and the house is a mess and this and that. And yes, those small little stresses, those little things that we do, this is just one example of millions of them that are out there, of how we get the relationship off focus. So we go from being two loving people now into you a monster because you didn't cook a meal for me, or you a monster because you didn't do the laundry or wash the clothes, or you didn't pick the kids up from wherever today. So let's go on to tip number 3 for focus.
Standing your ground.
You gotta stand for something. Like, what are you about? What are you doing with yourself? What are you doing with your life? Standing for something. Standing for something. I mean, you gotta stand for your relationship because stuff is gonna come at you. People are gonna come at you. Opportunities and things is gonna present itself. So that's why we need this thing we call focus. Because where am I focused on? Because if I don't have a focus, what attracted me to this person? What made me fall in love with this person? What made me want to be with this person to start with? What brought us into this thing? What was the activity of attraction that brought us two together? And for some people, y'all focus is sex. And that's why your relationships are only geared around or centered around that, because that's the focal point of your relationship. So if you start a relationship, what you start a relationship off of is what it will be based off of. So, hey, in a nutshell, what is tip number 4 for focus?
Honesty and truthful.
Being honest and true. How honest?
Like, telling the person what's on your mind and what you like and dislike, and basically not holding nothing back. Just letting them know how you feel. Just keeping it real.
Just keep it can we say that? Keep it 100, because that's why people suffer in relationships, because they can't be honest, and you may be with somebody that don't even want you to be honest. So, I mean, can we admit that some dudes do not like a challenge? They just think submission means that you don't have a brain. Do the ladies know what I'm talking about? Do some of the dudes know what I'm talking about? I mean, People think that when you are in a relationship, submission means that you just do whatever the hell I want you to do and no questions asked. No, God gave you a brain, use it. God gave you freedom of speech, use that too. Hell. So, focus in relationship is being honest and being truthful. Are you trustworthy? I mean, come on, you guys. What is the fifth? And we're wrapping this focus up.
Communication.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Communication, people. Communication stops wars.
It does.
Communication stops small fires and misunderstanding. And let me tell you something, ladies. If you have a man that is honest enough to tell you what he likes or don't like, or that he feels some type of way, or that he's not getting the right attention, or if you have two people in a relationship and you are expressing this to each other, you better wake the hell up. And you better understand that this person is being honest enough to let you know that no, they don't expect you to be perfect. They're not trying to make you someone else, but they're crying out because there's an area of focus that is a bit off right now that they're trying to redirect. And I know that I'm guilty of that. In relationships, I can be honest enough to say I'm bored. I can be honest enough to say that my attention is not there right now. My heart is not in it. And to me, that is the warning sign. That's one of the focal points of where we need to redirect our attention or redirect what we're doing. And once again, you guys, I've said it already, communication stops wars. So if you are in a relationship and there is no communication, you don't have a relationship. Somebody is in that thing by themselves or for themselves. So I would say get your F word right in relationships. Focus your attention on what makes you two happy, what brought you two together, what caused you two to fall in love with each other from the start. This has been another edition of Michael London Radio. Thank you guys for listening. Add me on Twitter, Michael London TV on Twitter. Visit my online t-shirt shop, www.michaellondonnewyork.spreadshirt.com. Alright, you guys, love you so much. Tune in for my session that I'll be posting on Nicki Minaj's sex tape. I need you guys to listen to that. Also, I want you guys to take a listen to a previous topic that I did on her, which is... See, I always mess up. I be doing good and then I mess up. I did Nicki Minaj versus Lil' Kim, or Nicki Minaj and Lil' Kim, something like that. You guys, look it up, get into it, alright? This is another edition of Michael London Radio, where we're more than just talk. Love you guys. The Michael London Show is brought to you in part by Michael London Clothing. www.michaellondonnewyork.spreadshirt.com, where you can get your Michael London apparel.